top side because Udyr was already in her jungle and pushing off of red. So there's a lot that was happening there. I wonder if we get another Udyr game. It seems back.
Yeah, I mean, those picks are just, they're so hard to adjust to when it's like, the enemy team just picks for prio when like they're the winning team.
Yeah.
And like from the top lane perspective, it's like, well, like Udyr did his job, but I don't think it's OP, but like, I guess we can't play against it. So it just like really warps the meta when like you pick things like that and it works.
Well, and you also brought up off-camera impact, right? And how Udyr in his hands is going to look different than Udyr in other people's hands because he just knows where to be. He knows when to proxy farm. He knows how to harass the opponent's jungle to track them. So it's just so much more suffocating.
Yeah, I mean, Udyr is a pick where it's like you win with the macro and not the micro, which makes it so good for someone like Impact, who has such a good grasp of like how to play the game and how to impact the map.
And if there was one thing, nice one. If there was one thing that I'd want Shopify to do here, it would be to stop APA from having Trist, only because you actually mentioned it, Licorice, while we were watching the game backstage, was the play where Team Liquid stacks a wave bot around 10 minutes, rotates APA down, gets a kill, APA gets the first turret, and suddenly he's 1,500 gold ahead, and he uses that to rotate around the map. And Shopify have identified at least part of it by first picking the Trist.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got your wish, right? Because now they first picked it. We'll see. Probably APA is just going to respond with Corki here. He did express extreme comfort in just trading these champs across the map. I think a lot of that same prio that you might be able to get from either one, you can get. And we see the Maokai coming in potentially from Umti again. So really good setup already for the Corki damage.
And just as a reminder, just last week, I felt really good about APA's Corki gameplay. So like, this is a really comfortable pick for him. So love the draft already. I know it's just 2 picks, but it's something that we've seen from both players.
It's because it fits the slot of what they just completely demolished Shopify with.
That's true. That's true.
Corki and Trist can be the same slot, and Maokai is the same champion. So.
Yeah, and they even banned the Zyra this time, so the jungle answers into Maokai. None of them are going to be as...
That's one!
Oh!
That is one. It's not going to clear quite as fast as the Zyra, but it'll do a lot of similar things in the game.
Yeah.
So tell me about those similar things. I'm actually more interested because like we haven't seen that much brand. Like what do you lock in, you come into a game, a scrim, whatever it may be, you see the enemy jungler picking a brand, what are you afraid of?
Well, Brand, it's a little more selfish than the Zyra. You spend more time clearing your camp, so you spend less time helping your team, and like obviously your ganks aren't that great. You kind of just like walk forward and like try to hit people with your spells. So generally you're not going to be seeing lots of ganks about him, but it is just a pick that does a lot of damage. And if he's allowed to basically like scale up in the jungle, then he'll get into those fights and really blow up your team.
Yeah, we see the Varus coming in for Shopify as well. But one thing I think is super interesting about the Brand is just the explosive damage you get out of him. And also, what you kind of have to do, and this isn't just with Brand, but with a lot of farming AP junglers. We saw this in the previous game when the Zyra was not able to farm super successfully, is that you also want to get map pressure, right? Like you kind of want to invade. You want Brand to be able to be selfish, so you want your lanes to win. As we see the Ksante coming out for TL side.
Yeah, now I'm really curious. Like, are TL going to ban the Udyr? Like, are they going to say, like, Udyr is a good answer to Ksante and ban it? Or are they going to be like, nah, it's just like something we play.
Oh my god.
And we'll win anyways.
It's like calling FakeGod out.
I think you probably leave it open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they can do either, honestly. But, like, I don't know. I'm just so curious. I think it's really funny, like, either way.
I agree. I'm also looking at Shopify here, and them having the ability to win lanes, I think, is even more important with the Brand than maybe even the Zyra. Like I think you really need to play from ahead with Brand to be able to have good entries into team fights. Otherwise, the normal roles of a jungler in terms of clearing vision and controlling space are just going to be impossible to do as a squishy little Brand.
Yeah, no, these kind of matchups, it's like if Brand falls behind, then like, I don't know, Maokai ults and your whole team dies. And really, like, there's really not much you can do about it. So he did end up leaving the Udyr up. So I think.
Do you think FakeGod will play?
I think he'll pick it. And I mean, we'll see how it goes. But like I said earlier, it's just like those prio picks work really well when your team's winning. And in a game where your team's not winning, then eventually you just get outscaled. So it might be kind of hard for him.
Another pick that's also just on the table is just a support pool. I know that Nautilus did get banned by TL side. Leona is the pick that I'm expecting to get go through. But for Shopify Rebellion, an option technically is is Braum if they give up the Leona just because they have double AD carry, but then they just wouldn't have a surefire way to start fights other than a Varus ulti. So,
It's the Lucian coming through.
That is sick, actually. We have not seen Lucian much, except for mid Lucian.
Well, we saw it from Chovy, and then we also saw it from Maokai. Yeah.
I mean, it could be mid Lucian.
Theoretically, it could be Corki bot.
Oh no! It's the Chovy effect.
I think it'll still be Corki mid. But yeah, we have seen it.
I'm just with you, Licorice. I'm waiting to see if this is if an Udyr is going to come.
Yeah, they're thinking about
Raz
it.
called the Leona.
There it is.
There we go.
We'll see what core answers, because they could have, Team Liquid could have actually blind picked the Leona if they wanted to, with the Nautilus being banned, but Team Liquid will have to have some type of answer for that.
Here we go.
It's at least the hover.
Yep.
There it is.
All right.
There it is.
We locked it
Challenge
in.
accepted.
Yep, challenge accepted.
Some of FakeGod's best games last split, I felt like, was just through his Udyr game. So at least that's something that he'll go back to. Thinking about a Nami here, just so they can go back to Lucian, Nami, and have the Corki mid. They already have frontline with both Ksante and Maokai. So that's an option that Team Liquid can go to. There it is.
And like, speaking of the Udyr, just for the brand, right? We're talking about, okay, you want prio in this. We'll see if FakeGod is able to get that prio, do early invades, get early damage down, so that Tomio can farm comfortably, because I was really curious to see if they'd pick these AP farming junglers for Tomio. I'd like to see him pop off on it, so we'll see what the team can do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. We'll figure it out. If Shopify can put this to game 3, we're going to send it straight over to Rafa.
Muchas gracias, Raz, and see you later, Loungers. Me and Azael will be coming on for the second game of this series, Shopify Rebellion. The Zyra jungle was not enough for them to get over the finish line. And unfortunately for them, the race kind of started without them once Team Liquid just got...
it was enough for them to get past the starting line.
Yeah,
The finish line was so much better around the map, so Shopify have got to be able to adjust in the 1v1s. And I feel like, especially in top lane, it is such a throwing of the gauntlet to be running back the same matchup from the other side. Impact now passing Bjergsen for first LCS all-time, 389 career LCS wins is ridiculous. This guy has had an incredible career in the LCS across a lot of different organizations, stacking up the trophies. And now we'll see if he can win the matchup from the other side that he just dominated FakeGod in.
I mean, that would speak volumes just about how strong Impact has been for this team. But I also want to pivot the conversation, as we might have to hold it. Bvoy and Zeyzal getting a decent chunk onto Yeon. I'm not sure if he'll have time to recall. It's about 105. Okay, so he'll get his recall in. He'll be walking to lane just right as the minion wave should be crashing. But this is a cool opportunity to see Yeon on one of his signature champions that he's really made a name for himself during the latter half of Spring Split and playoffs, and even a little bit at MSI, to now Bvoy, probably his most signature champion that he has played during his tenure here in the LCS with Varus as well. But Umti is going to get pushed out of his top red side jungle.
I mean, this is just smart. This is the power of the Udyr. It looks like Umti is not just going to give it up, though. He wants to play for the Smite fight. So this is going to get a little bit weird here as Impact is around. Udyr brand very strong in that level 1. If this keeps resetting, though, honestly, it's better for Umti to be low eco. And Impact's just going to steal away one of the little Raptors and then just walk away. So Umti now will go over towards the Wolves. Ghost is going to be popped by both of them, but nice sidestep there from FakeGod.
Impact in trouble. He might die to FakeGod if he can get one more proc at the Phoenix stance to slow him down. There's a couple of auto attacks, the grass proc. Impact in trouble. FakeGod, just one more. No! Oh, man.
I mean, can't quite kill him, but still, Impact's lane is screwed off of that. Really nice sidestep on the Q3. Avoiding that allows him to kind of just keep up with Impact and just harass him the whole way back. So this is a great start here for Shopify. Umti, though, is just going Wolves to Raptors. They know that he's not on the blue, and they know they start on this side, so they should have gotten vision of him crossing. He is going to be able to take away those Raptors and back off. So that's well done there by Umti, and we'll see if he can kind of keep up in this. But top lane is going to be really tough for Impact now because you're not starting anywhere close to parity.
Right. The nice thing for Impact, though, is I definitely thought there was a world where Tomio tries to clear up towards top lane and dive with FakeGod, but FakeGod might just be able to solo kill Impact, but he sidesteps the last bit of the awakened Phoenix Storm. And so Impact now realizes that he might just have to recall even on this cannon wave.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to recall. He'll be able to get back and get most of it. It's actually good that it's Cannon Waves. APA.
Oh, the solo kill from Insanity, and APA knows that he messed up. First blood to Shopify Rebellion.
Bvoy just got Goomba stomped. It jumped up in his seat right after that. APA thought he had the win, was just fighting to the death. Absolute fist fight with Insanity in the mid lane, but Insanity gets that final bit of damage. Impact is able to TP back in, but he's down. There's a solo kill in mid. Umti's been put down a little bit as well. So just like that, you know, it is a much better game 2 here. We can watch this one more time as APA does have a bit of the HP advantage. Flashes the initial W, but of course the reset comes through from that explosive charge. And then in between the autos, he jumps in. You can see the visible frustration there from APA. Knows he messed up. But, you know, even with all of these things going Shopify's way, they're barely up any gold because look at bot lane. They are getting crushed in bot lane.
Yeah, well, Insanity now not only has the push prio, but also has flash advantage over APA. Is going to fist fight him, but APA, does he have the damage now to fight back against Insanity? No flash for APA, and Insanity, wait, it just dies!
He just walked him straight into the sapling.
I thought he was going to flash at some point, and maybe he was going to wait out the last auto attack, but it just did more damage than Insanity was expecting.
I mean, I think that he assumed he was going to be able to make him lose vision in the brush and just be able to walk it out. But it looked like the Gatling gun came back up, and I think it was maybe even the E damage that actually finished him off when he was out of line of sight. So I think Insanity thought he had it all calculated. But unfortunately, I like the self-flame in that.
The self-report is like,
They're
hey,
both
man,
so bad.
We're both kind of trolling a little bit. You know what? Respect in the modesty. Team Liquid.
Yeah, we can watch it one more time.
Yeah.
I mean, this again looked like it's a fight that APA is going to lose, but he just keeps doing it because he knows his jungler is closer. He knows that Insanity is going to have to run his result, and he's pushing him down into the sapling. And the sapling actually made such a difference because not only is it the damage, but it's the slow, the Q lands. He tries to drop a ward to mess him up, and then, yeah, it's the E, the Gatling gun in the brush. As he lost vision, he thought there wasn't going to be any more cooldowns. The last auto, he was right, he would survive, but he did not account for the E, hitting him in the brush, finishing him off, getting that kill back. And that is frustrating stuff, man.
And this is one of those situations where before the second kill happens, as we still got action on the top side of the map, FakeGod, no, the ghost has been popped. He pops the shield. Okay, FakeGod is able to walk out, doesn't die despite Impact popping his own ghost. Oh, that would have been...
That would have been actually the worst possible thing to happen.
You had such a good opening trade, level 1, running down Impact, and then to lose... Oh, man.
I mean, he's still kind of losing lane, let's be honest. It's tough. He already used his TP. He almost just got solo killed by Impact. He's down farm, and Impact's pushing in the wave. So, you know, this is the matchup that Impact just absolutely destroyed FakeGod in, took 3 plates solo without any interference, and now is winning the other side of the matchup with a horrible start level 1 where he had to actually, you know, sacrifice and defend his own jungle. So this is just player diff from that point. You know, that is tough for FakeGod.
Yeah. Now losing the top prio, at least for Shopify's sake, because they know that Team Liquid is on the Dragon. Tomio can look for the first rotation of Grubs and get one objective back over to Shopify's side. I think the big shame, though, is that since APA burned his flash and Insanity has his flash advantage over him, if there's a way to bring Zeyzal over, you could commit a flash to guarantee another kill setup and get a snowball rolling that way. But then after the second kill, AP is kind of even the playing field. His flash is coming back soon. The window is closing for any type of punish. So, and this is against the team who just showed in game 1, they do not give you many rooms for error. So if you see a mistake like that, you should try and jump on it as fast as possible. But Shopify Rebellion kind of tied up with bottom lane at the moment.
Exactly. That's what's making it so tough, is that when you're losing 2v2 bot, it's very difficult for Zeyzal to move. And Brand is not a good ganking jungler, so Brand alone probably can't get it done. You would need both Zeyzal and Tomio to be there. But guess what? When you're getting slammed in the 2v2, you can't.
Yeon, both summoner spells gone. Zenith Blade from Zeyzal, the flash from Bvoy. This is huge for Shopify Rebellion, winning an all-in 2v2.
Nicely done. Now, they have been getting pushed in. They have been getting beat down, but they're able to find that all-in. Zeyzal just kept hitting Zenith Blade after Zenith Blade, chasing him down. APA, you know, obviously can't move. He doesn't have TP. Impact didn't have his TP. No one could actually come down to bail them out. So it is just going to be that straight-up 2v2 kill, and the gold goes to Bvoy. That is really big for Shopify, because when you think back to spring, basically all of their wins are Bvoy getting ahead, and it's often Bvoy on Varus getting ahead. So Yeon just let the culling rip. The slow there from the hail of arrows, flash forward, the Q stun first, then Yeon getting hit again by the Zenith Blade, caught up, stunned down again, just could not actually create any distance. Was very quick on the response with the flash, but the auto attack had already gone through from the Leona, so he just got stunned on the other side of his flash, and that's where a lot of the problems came, because he created very little distance whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, getting stunned on the other side of your flash meant that they could just kind of catch back up, land the Zenith Blade, land another stun, and that's really what made the difference there. So really well played all in, honestly, from Zeyzal and Bvoy, and Zeyzal the one set it up.
Now, when we talked about windows of opportunity for Shopify to punish, a flashless, cleanseless Lucian is a lane that I would be sending the alarm to the rest of my teams, like, hey guys, I don't know what we can dedicate. We cannot get this done though. Tomio, let's see, he is waiting, but Umti is also here for the counter gank, knowing that Yeon would be the target here. And they're gonna throw out the ulti. How many people will root up? It hits up to Solar Flare, will dissuade the charge from Umti, as now he's taken out of the fight, forced to flash. Tomio tried to flash to punish and follow up, looking for additional damage. But for Team Liquid, they're able to survive the onslaught.
Yeah, Tomio was trying to flash in and get his ult off, but he couldn't quite get in range, unfortunately for him. You know, probably just barely out of range. But he was warded out. It's good warding, good play from TL. Umti comes into cover, ends up just being the trade of flashes. This is that advantage. We'll see. Potentially going to go all out here. Impact has FakeGod dead So FakeGod, again, just kind of getting pushed around in this lane. He did take down a plate, which is quite nice, though. And we saw 2 plates go the way of Insanity in mid lane. So this is a lot closer of a game. It was domination from TL in the last one, and it's a slight lead from Shopify in this one.
Yeah. Just thank goodness for Shopify Rebellion to have some signs of life, and the fact that they were able to spot windows where Team Liquid were not optimizing their play, they're able to punish. Now the question comes down to how well can Shopify actually translate that lead into something meaningful that pushes the reigning LCS champions to be extremely competitive with them in games here.
Yeah, I mean, they have a much easier comp, I think, to execute now. You know, you are just kind of playing like a 5v5 style comp where you can kind of just show up and look to fight them.
Impact goes all out, but Bvoy has arrived, and this turns the tides of the battle in favor for Shopify Rebellion, and Umti knows he cannot commit. Impact is just going to go down to Bvoy.
Yeah, TL thought that they actually had the jump that they were looking for the gank here with Umti, but they were not expecting Bvoy to just show up, and it allows them to take down Impact. So Impact does get taken down. They're going to be able to get some turret damage here as well. But Core and Yeon have made the move up towards topside. They're trying to go for a 6 grub play off of this, and they very likely will get it.
Yeah.
So Shopify, honestly, in a really good spot. You're playing with Tristana, you're playing with Udyr, you should have some pressure inside lanes, and you're going to have 6 grubs off the back of that. So going to be feeling really good about their chances in this one.
What a nice bounce back from game 1 into game 2. 6 scrubs now, it's easier to work with, but great bubble into culling. Here comes the Nature's Grasp. Yeon should be able to finish this kill on to Zeyzal, and yes, he does, and a teleport from APA will join the fray as he's looking for Bvoy. A lot of damage, one more auto attack, there it goes! Nicely done by the mid laner of Team Liquid.
Yeah, APA just fully committing to that. Had the Triforce just completed, TP's in, gets the kill. Really nice catch there from TL. They didn't get much damage with the initial kind of volley of plays, as we'll see. Insanity should just be able to walk this one out because Impact does not have all out. Used it in that previous top lane play. Zeyzal blocked up so much of the damage from the culling, from the Nami wave, from the Maokai, all of that. But Yeon just committed to the play. They go over the wall. And this is, you know, them just really recognizing the situation that they can look to chase. It's a beautiful double bubble. It's the culling. It's the wave. It's everything. Tomio realizes it's not a fight that they can win. And the TP is coming through. So they're able to get the kill, and then just the chase down again, the sapling with the assist, slowing him down. APA hits everything, gets that second kill onto Bvoy, and you can see a little bit of frustration there.
Oh, we got more action in the mid lane. CoreJJ just gets blown up by the damage. A lot of burn. I think the Pyroclasm was used by Tomio in the onslaught as well. So Team Liquid losing out their support with a Dragon currently alive for the taking. Shopify, how many tools did they use? It looks like they still have Leona engage and Chain of Corruptions as well from Bvoy. So they should have control and be able to secure the second dragon of the game.
Chain of Corruption just came up, so it should be their dragon for sure. We'll see if MT wants to try to check it, but honestly, would be pretty ill-advised. It's going to get spotted, and Insanity just going to be able to buffer the jump, get out, but Here comes Yeon. TL maybe want to fight.
Looking for Umti. They burned both of their ultimates onto the jungler team Liquid. Insanity with the flash guarantees the kill. Nice buster shot use. And Impact can't get into the fight. Yeon and CoreJJ were approaching from the left flank, but they couldn't really get in, and Shopify walk out safely.
Yeah, Yeon gets pushed back. Can't really find the angle for the culling after he has to actually dash, so I'm not able to get much damage down whatsoever. So it's another objective going the way of Shopify, and they are going to be able to get a little bit of turret damage. APA, though, likewise pushing in top lane. Their bot lane is going to move towards mid and look to push that in as well. The gold still just not really getting any bigger. You notice Shopify mostly getting their advantages through kills. They haven't been able to really find the farm and the objective advantages as much just yet, but they do have all those grubs that they grabbed, which is going to mean if they can get access to those towers, they should be going down pretty quick.
Yeah, and you can see the difference already in how Team Liquid was able to orchestrate their snowball versus how Shopify are trying to orchestrate theirs. They're putting a lot more resources in moving people around the map, but then it gives up the opportunity for them to catch waves while the rest of Team Liquid's laners are starting to out-CS them as well.
Okay, that made me a little bit nervous for a second. I wasn't sure if Bvoy was going to have a lazy recall and get caught there, because Yeon was able to pick up the honey fruit and healed back up. But yeah, of course, there's definitely that difference. You know, TL having some things not go their way, but are hanging in there. But this is what I wanted to see from Shopify. I want to see that they could be competitive. This is the best team in the league right now that you're going up against. Pretty much everyone is saying that. You know, all the pros from all the teams are saying, yeah, TL is the team to beat. So if you can just hang with them, that is a confidence booster, right? You know, this is a very big bounce back game, you know, compared to game number 1. Even if they don't win it, we'll have to see if they can actually, you know, get across that finish line, because there's a lot more steps to do correctly before you do actually claim this game. And TL don't have the easiest comp, I think, to necessarily find those engages and picks on. So as long as Shopify plays solid, they're in a good spot. They have really, really high damage, and anytime someone gets caught on TL, it's going to be tough for them to actually survive the onslaught.
Yeah, here comes Nature's Grasp once again. FakeGod will block off the majority of the roots. Zeyzal takes up one as well. Tomio securing the Rift Herald, and now Team Liquid can try to play for maybe poke and just try to dissuade Shopify from getting back into the mid lane.
Yeah, and they're just trying to buy time for impact, right? Because all the members here are there from Shopify. It's very similar to the plays that we saw last game. Of course, it was a Tristana in the side lane. This time it's a Ksante. So Ksante not exactly dealing punishing damage to these turrets, but he will eventually take it down. And that's going to have the gold incredibly close to even here from TL. So it is the Herald. We'll see if they can actually get something with it. We're basically dead even on gold. I'm maybe going to look to try to crash it mid lane a little bit later on and try to actually get that. But yeah, I mean, they have a lot of frontline damage here from Shopify, right? Like between Brand and Bvoy and Insanity, they can kill your tank. Like even if it is Impact who actually gets locked down, he could definitely die. So he's gonna have to play pretty careful.
Yep. Yeon with the buffs from Nami tries to go for the culling, decent chunk on the Bvoy, but mostly clears out the wave, gets some pressure here. Umti is not necessarily in position to look for an invade. He was shadowing APA on the top side to make sure that he could get a second turret picked up for Team Liquid. You know, so far for Shopify, I mean, they've done a great job in terms of neutral objective control. All 6 scrubs awarded to them, thanks to Tomio, the second dragon. They're going to get their first turret of the game from Insanity's pushing on the bottom side of the map. But the fact that Team Liquid are answering with decent objectives of their own makes it so that it's still an even game in gold. Well,
and part of the problem is I feel like Shopify are kind of over-grouping. I think they're worried about throwing the game or getting caught out or whatever. But look at the farm throughout the lanes, right? It's 35 CS in bot lane. It's 20, like, you know, almost 20 CS in mid lane, and it's about 20 CS in top lane, right? So that is a lot because Shopify are just walking around as the goon squad here.
Nice dodge from APA. They dodge the solar flare. They're going to commit onto Yeon, but he still has flash to work with, so they can space this one out. And Zeyzal overcommits for the play. Will get punished for it. Team Liquid now the ones in control, back in the driver's seat. Yeon flanking from the top right, looking for more damage as Umti tries to flash in to close the distance. Will get burned by the pyroclasm. Decent answer back from Tomio. Impact leading the charge. And it doesn't look like they're going to go for a full-on dive into Tier 1, but they got what they wanted.
Yeah, they are able to get a couple kills there, looking pretty good, but we might just have another fight coming up here pretty soon as the Dragon's going to be up in a little over 30 seconds. It's a good punish there from TL. Again, this team, whether they're ahead, whether they're behind, they're going to keep fighting you. They're going to keep looking for these opportunities. And again, APA is getting really, really fed in a game. He has 4 kills now. He took down a tower, got solo gold in that side lane, and he's setting himself up well. Remember, next week we are going to be on Thursday and Friday. We will not be on the weekend. Thursday and Friday, there's going to be the LCS games, so make sure to tune in.
Hey, Azael, did you hear that? Thursday, Friday, we're going to have Week 3 LCS?
Really?
That's crazy,
That's
man.
crazy, bro.
That's so crazy.
That's crazy.
You And what's also crazy is that Shopify are in position for this third Dragon on time, and they have decent vision control of this blue quadrant jungle as well. Neither of the Team Liquid solo laners can really get there first. Umti's trying to bully his way in using these saplings. And the Shopify are going to drop the Rift Herald. It should get the crash into the tier 1 turret. And Shopify have a chance to just burn this dragon, but it looks like they want to set up for a pick instead.
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to be able to find the fight here. As TL well aware that this is what they're doing, they can see the poke being thrown over the wall. So TL just going to play it safe, going to play it smart. They're going to play through mid first, get prio there, then look to move on into the river, which they are doing now. As you can see, that line of saplings is set up. And again, Impact is in the top lane. No one's answering him, so TL don't need to force here. If it's not a good angle, they can just back off, but Impact's going to TP in, so they're going to look for the fight.
Okay. FakeGod taking up a majority of the culling damage. He's in trouble. Remember, he doesn't have flash. He only has ghost, and it's still off cooldown. He gets gunned down by Yeon, and the twisted advance follows Insanity all the way over the red buff wall. He's forced to run, and the rest of his comrades at Shopify are just getting deleted by Team Liquid.
APA and Yeon went crazy in that fight. APA flashing over the wall, chasing him down, looking for Bvoy. They wiped the map of Shopify here, able to get all those kills. They're going to be able to grab the dragon off the back of this as well. TL just playing with so much confidence. You know, I was thinking it's only the second dragon for Shopify. You have Impact up in the top lane. Maybe you'll just keep pushing. You'll play it a little bit safer. But they thought they could win the 5v5, so they just take the 5v5. But now, have they overstayed their welcome? Because Brand is behind you. You're TPing in here on FakeGod. They're going to look for the mid lane.
There's no Pyroclasm from Tomio, so it's all on FakeGod to set up the CC, but the all-out repositions FakeGod on the other side of the wall. So Shopify have to walk up and catch up to FakeGod. Insanity jumping over, finding Yeon with the explosive charge, a lot of damage. Here comes the reset, and he finds the shutdown, and Insanity still lives! He doesn't go down to the Leandri's passive. Meanwhile, Impact and FakeGod are now in the 1v1 of their lives, but they both walk away.
Well, they're going Baron. They're actually pinging onto Baron there, it looked like. I don't know why FakeGod stopped chasing if they're not going to try to do something here, because, yeah, there was assist pings there from Shopify over towards Baron. This might be a bit overzealous, though. I mean, there is still APA really strong, who's going to be able to poke away at you if they get wind of this. There's definitely a lot of pings over there from TL as well, so they are clearly aware of what is going on. Let's see if APA can push them back.
All right, Umti has flash, and you cannot disrespect Q-Smite. The solar flare right on top. Oh, APA gets caught out. It's a massive shutdown for Shopify. And do they still want to continue this Baron, or do they want to be content in the fact that they got a massive gold bounty?
I think they just keep going for it at this point, but they are going to back off. APA playing way too fast from that position. He got pushed back, had to Valkyrie, has no flash, and then just walked right back in and allows himself to actually be hit by that ulti from Zeyzal. So it's a great pick from Shopify, keeping themselves in it. But definitely an overextension there from APA, one that he'll want back, as it was a bit of a silly death. You know, after the initial Valkyrie, you have to play at range. You have to wait for your frontliners to get there. This was the play quite a while ago, as it started out off of the extended play. Obviously, TL wins the fight. They take the dragon, and then Shopify want to try to get something because they felt that TL had overstayed their welcome on the map. Insanity gets in, is able to get the reset, but then he has to flash over the wall. Unfortunately, the Bramble Smash as well as the bubble from the Nami was a little bit of anti-synergy there, so Umti accidentally knocks him out of that bubble. They don't have the CC chain perfectly. Insanity comes up with a big play.
Oh, Bvoy!
Oh, that's rough.
I don't know how he got in that position, but that is not good for Shopify after everything going so well on 2 successful picks in the carries of Team Liquid. Yeah, this should be easily Baron started up. Yeon is going to maintain the front lines as he now turns to help try and burn this Baron down, but they still have ultimates to turn if Shopify get too close.
Yeah, I mean, TL's barely hitting it, so Shopify do not need to rush. This is going to be the world's slowest Baron. They've only dealt a couple thousand damage to it, but they got to find a way to get over there. If Tomio can get a big ult, get some good AoE down, they could potentially take down TL, so we'll see if they can find it.
Okay, Yeon steps up, but he's ashes to the side. Solar Flare lands onto him, and they're looking for impact in the backline. Zeyzal's forced to flash over the wall as Umti now tries to chase, but Yeon finds Tomio, and FakeGod is next. APA just needs one more, but he lives! But Team Liquid can now turn to the Baron, secure it, and Insanity is in deep, and he's got nowhere to run. The early recall from Impact, because he's got faith in Team Liquid assassinating this guy, but he's got the blast code. And no way he actually gets out. Okay, Yeon cuts him off on the bottom side. It was a nice chip. Woohoo! I mean, Sandy's got some damage this game, but unfortunately it's still not enough.
Yeah, just barely. Can't actually finish off Yeon. Well played there by TL. They had a lot of confidence to actually start this one up, and it's just a good job actually marking Tomio here. You can see they go straight in for him, full CC onto him. They have the Maokai ult into the Twisted Advance, into the bubble. Yeon goes forward, they pick out their target, they burst down the brand, and they just push him out of the fight. And then Insanity trying to see if they can find anything here, but there's no angle for him. Luckily, Zeyzal was able to get home at least, but it is a big advantage now for TL. It was a great start for Shopify, but TL are just outplaying them in the 5v5 and have now created for themselves a 4,000 gold lead.
I'm not sure what Rainover is gesturing towards, whether he's upset or he's surprised. Yeah, it's like, that was crazy. I will say, Team Liquid still ahead in this game, but Shopify have done a better job at punishing some of the overextensions from Team Liquid. The dive onto 3. I think Umti's just going to dive, but they trade one onto Tomio, making sure that APA can follow up on the engage. So it's jungler for jungler, 4v4 now on the map. Yeah,
Tomio kind of walked up a little bit too close. So they did have the extra man, but APA just guns him down. Takes out Tomio, no problem. They're pushing up through bot as well. So meanwhile, they have that mid lane trade. But bot lane, you lost the tier 2 bot. Now you're losing the inhibitor tower, and Yeon is just completely unafraid.
Meanwhile, Insanity was pushing on the tier 2, got some gold back over to the side of Shopify, so somewhat of a trade. But they still have the Baron buff on their side on Team Liquid, so they should be able to take out this tier 3 in the bottom lane.
Yep, going to be able to grab that. At least they got the objective bounty, as he called out. But going to be probably the retreat back towards the dragon here that is now up. FakeGod, though, maybe overextended a bit.
They got to be careful because Tomio's respawning and Umti's walking back from the base, but they just might be content in getting one pick off. The push back, Culling rips apart FakeGod and tears a hole in Zeyzal's back as well. Impact is just moving on this Ksante before eventually goes down, but Yeon follows up with the flash. Team Liquid were ready to end the game, and they don't even need Umti to be there to do it.
That is crazy. Yeon is just styling on him here. Dodging everything, playing so aggressive on the knife's edge there. TL are just going to end the game.
You know, Shopify did make it slightly more competitive this time around, but it's still Team Liquid all day, every day when they're the #1 team in the league for a reason. Umti throws out the Nature's Grasp one last time, maybe an extra kill to pad the stats, and Team Liquid will close out this series 2-0.
It's actually wild to me that this was a faster game than game 1. They're going to end it faster
really?
than game 1. Last game was 27-minute game.
This
one is
wild.
25 and a half. TL with the absolute killer instinct there. This is the confidence we saw from Yeon playing on the Lucian at MSI, where he is in their face. He is believing in himself to actually be able to dodge the abilities. He's dodging the Zenith plays. He's dodging all the key abilities, and he's just going aggressive. They don't even have Umti there. It doesn't even matter. APA TP's in, but this is like them playing that confident in basically a 3v5 almost.
Yeah, it is so funny to me that this was a faster game than the absolute domination that occurred on our screens in game 1. But I imagine that Team Liquid just found the window where they said, hey guys, you want to flip it? Want to see what happens? It's like they found out quick. That is just insane to me that they made it happen. Well, that ends it for us. We're going to be joining Raz and Team Liquid on stage for the interview.
What's up? Actually, show me the post game on this one. 27k damage. How'd the game go for you?
Well, this game, Insanity was really not in good condition mid lane, and Umti told me he's gonna come mid, and then I chose to suicide. But then I think Insanity felt bad for me that I suicided, so he said he's gonna suicide back to me.
Yeah.
So then his wave ended up getting so bad, and then I don't know, mid was super free after that. I don't know. I don't want to call on these guys too bad, because I mean they're not really contenders to the league, so it's just whatever. Like whatever win.
That's fair. I got a question for you actually, Core.
Okay.
So we saw the Lucian Nami come back. You guys ended up bringing it back here. First of all, like, we have not seen much Lucian Nami in general, but you guys found an angle to pick it. What's your thought process overall on the pick?
We have the best Lucian Nami in the West.
Best Lucian Nami?
Yeah, we have the best Lucian Nami in the West.
Do you confirm it?
In the West, yes. In the West, yeah. I'm thinking about all the Western bot laners or something. In the West, yes.
So for me, question is just like with the series, it was a pretty messy series overall, but I felt like at least in game one, you guys really dominated early and found plays. What's your assessment of the series as a whole versus Shopify?
So I think we played very reserved and slowed and then calculated game in the game one, and then we got a little bit of bored. And then we wanted to create some entertainment. I think Yeon wanted to save the LCS, so he started. So
LCS. LCS one death at a time.
So usually the person that brings the hammer down is Spawn, but he is not here.
yeah, this is the last time we can like do whatever we want.
When is he coming over? Okay, when is he coming over?
I think Spawn comes tomorrow. I don't know what time, but he's here tomorrow.
Actually, how's Scrim just been with Spawn? Because I've heard his Scrim schedule has just been demonic because he's bad in Australia, so it's like 2 a.m. and all. So how's Scrim's been with him, I guess, online?
I mean, to be honest, it's pretty similar. Like Rainover does the review itself, but Spawn's in the room and we have a big microphone and we have big speakers in there, so we can hear him and he can like give us his thoughts, and then he'll give us a whole bunch of like personal notes, what he thinks we can do better. It's not like the biggest difference. I think it would be nice to have him back in person though.
Okay. And you guys have kept the momentum going overall since MSI. I felt like your mid game's been pretty strong. What have you guys been kind of doing in practice and just in general to kind of keep up the momentum since that point? Because usually people tend to slack after MSI with a break or anything like that, but you guys have just been doing quite well.
I think I had enough break after the MSI, so not much thing to say. But I think we really want to win. We all know season was not over when MSI is done, and then we were not happy with the leader. We want to do better, and I think the biggest thing is like we know we could do better. When there's a hope, people can try hard.
Sounds good to me. And I will see you guys next week. You guys face 100 Thieves. Thanks a lot, guys. And we're going to be sending us straight back to the desk.